I got a few miles on it, just driving around the yard, like doing little wheelies and jumps and stuff. I threw on the 33 teraches on the 18s just to see how they would fit. They do rub in the back at full down travel because trailing arm issues. This thing has the exact same wheelbase as like a 570L, which I find real dumb considering how much power it has, speed and power. So it needs a little bit longer wheelbase. I'm probably going to do like a small swing arm stretch on it, the longer control arms or trailing arms basically. Don't want to go too long, so don't make it real front heavy, right? Because it's already a heavy machine. You still want it some weight on the back end, but a little bit of rake would definitely improve the handling and improve the mudding. Do a water wheelie, get more clearance, and to help the tires clear. So that's probably the only mod I'll do for a while, even if I do anything. I wish these fenders connected right here. It wouldn't look as cool, but it'd keep you cleaner, which would be great. But it's pretty fun. No major complaints so far. I'm going to keep a list of all the issues I've had. So far, just minor stuff like the vent lines not being routed properly, and one of the factory tires had 0 PSI in it, the others had 7. So I think the bead lock ring just wasn't torqued down properly. That's my guess. I aired it up. I'll check it in a couple days and see if it loses any. Factory tires are very light. I'll throw that video in here. But they don't look nearly as cool as the Aztex. They don't have the proper tread spacing, and I've just seen these tires do nothing but dig holes. But they are light, which is cool, so I'd use them for trails and stuff like that. But when you need some ground clearance, this thing's a very, very massive heavy machine, so you need some taller tires to get some real ground clearance. But it looks pretty cool on the 18s though. Sometimes you try to do a wheelie in normal mode because it dials back the throttle response, and you put it in sport mode. XMR cryptids on Can-Am OEM beadlocks. They're stamp 30, they measure like 28.5, and they weigh 50.5 pounds. So they are light. I'll give them that, they're light. Here's a 33 Aztec on an 18-inch beadlock with slightly wet and slightly muddy. And it's about 65.5 pounds. Right, you asked, I delivered 33 Aztecs on the new Mr. Can-Am. Let's turn it on so I can show you how stupid this is. So in the front, they clear no problem, right? But of course, the hand guards hit your snorkel pod, because why wouldn't they? It's a Can-Am, why would anything fit properly? So you can turn, no problem, right? Plenty of clearance on the front, which is great. Part of the reason they clear so good is because these are 6+1 wheels, very negative. On the rear, left side, there is just a little bit of clearance. So that's actually okay, because the more suspension flexes up, the farther the tire goes back because it's trailing arm suspension. On the right side, unfortunately, it is just touching the metal right now, and if the wheel drops all the way down, it will touch it. Now it's worth noting that these tires are at 0 PSI and probably measure about 32 inches right now. Narrow, so it's going to be kind of top heavy, but it keeps them in the fenders somewhat, keep me clean. The stock ones didn't really fit in the fenders. To do this right, I'd probably need to add a 1/4 inch wheel spacer on each side in the back. That would help with the rubbing issue a little bit and provide some stability. I think I have those. I'll probably put them on right now. But so far, breaking it in, so far so good. It was smoking a little bit the first 2 or 3 miles, but now it's kind of cleared up. I removed all the safety stickers. Looks a lot better now. Oh yes, very premium. All my vent lines were hanging down in front of the radiator, which means they were down here, top of the snorkel's here. So yeah, good thing I checked that. So I'm going to go ahead and route the vent lines to the top of the snorkels. Same setup as before, obviously. Engine intake, it's crazy a 1000 can breathe through that little pipe. Belt intake, belt exhaust, comes up here, does a P-trap thing, goes back down there, and blows on the exhaust, because that's what Can-Am likes to do. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it does have a big opening right here to keep it from getting vapor locked and sucking into the belt.